Turning now to your community focus, will Congress be able to agree on a foreign aid bill? And will there be any movement from lawmakers in D.C. to help with the ongoing Washington Bridge breakdown? Joining us now to talk about that and more, Congressman Seth Magaziner. He joins us remote from D.C. Congressman, thanks for being here.
Hey, Kim, thanks for having me.
Congressman, I'm going to start with that foreign aid bill. As you know, the Senate just passed a $95 billion measure to fund Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan. Really divided the Republican Party in the Senate. We're hearing from Speaker Johnson, the Republican leader in your chamber. He might not even bring it up for a vote. What is the plan from House Democrats to actually get a vote on this bill that many of you support?
Well, Speaker Johnson needs to call this vote. And here's what everyone needs to understand. Ukraine's interest is the same as ours. It is in the United States' national security interest to support Ukraine, because if Vladimir Putin conquers Ukraine, he will not stop there. So we need to stand by our allies. We need to give Ukraine the supplies and the ammunition they need to beat back Vladimir Putin and win this war. And if this bill comes to the floor in the House, it will pass overwhelmingly. So it really comes down to Mike Johnson. He has a decision to make. Is he going to be the one person who causes millions of people to be subjugated and brutally taken over by Vladimir Putin? Or is he going to stand up for democracy and for America's own national security interests and allow us to vote on the bill?
Congressman, I want to shift the focus back here to Rhode Island. On Newsmakers last week, your Massachusetts colleague, Congressman Jake Auchincloss, said that he was going to sort of defer to the Rhode Island delegation about efforts to get some federal funding for the Washington Bridge breakdown, and that it would maybe be something similar to what Congress did back in 2007 for a bridge collapse in Minnesota. Where do those efforts stand right now?
You know, the Washington Bridge closure is incredibly frustrating for all of us and damaging to many, many Rhode Islanders. What has to happen first is that the State Department of Transportation needs to come up with a plan. And as soon as they come up with a plan for how to fix the bridge or, in a worst-case scenario, replace the bridge, my colleagues and I in the federal delegation will work day and night to get every dollar that we can from Congress to help support that plan. So we're waiting on the state, but in the meantime, we have been in touch with Secretary Buttigieg. We have been in touch with the White House repeatedly to elevate this issue. They are well aware of it. And as soon as the state has a plan for what to do with the bridge, we are going to do everything that we can to get the funding to make that plan happen.
I want to ask you about the issues and glitches that have been happening with the FAFSA, the new FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. It looks like the number of students who've completed it so far is way down compared to where it was last year. And you've sent a letter to the Education Secretary. What are you asking him to do?
Yeah. So college education can open the doors of opportunity for millions of students, but the cost of college tuition is too high for many families. And that's why the FAFSA is so important. This year, the Department of Education has been upgrading their system, their computer system. It's a thing that they have to do, but that has caused delays in getting students those answers about how much aid they qualify for. So I did lead a letter to the Department of Education encouraging them to do everything they can, put every resource they can into getting the FAFSA system running properly so that students can get that information and make informed decisions. And we're also calling on the colleges to do everything that they can to extend their timelines to give more people, more students time to make informed decisions before their acceptance deadlines as well.
All right, Congressman Seth Magaziner, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us.